If you haven't heard of the El Camino already, where have you been? Honestly, you must be living under a rock, because, bro, coolest shit ever made. Personally, I think Chevy should have never discontinued the El Camino, but they did. So let's learn a little history about it. With the obvious advantage because Chris... In this video, we'll figure out why Chevy quit making the El Camino and a little bit more of the history of them.
Yes, bitch, I heard you.
Now, most of us already know that Chevy wasn't the originator of the car truck thing. Ford beat Chevy to the production of the first car truck thing. In 1957, they began production on the Ford Ranchero.
Look, it's more than a car. Look again, it's more than a truck. It's the new Ford Ranchero.
But Chevy took notice and had to get into the game themselves after Ford did their thing with it, not gonna lie. El Camino started off very, very docile, but as the years went on, they became muscle trucks. After Ford held it down for 2 years, in 1959, the first El Camino was released, and it was on the Bel Air / Impala platform, while Chevy straight out just said, it's a truck, and you're gonna love it. They sold a little over 20,000 units when they first came out, but unfortunately sales weren't doing good, and they ended the El Camino very early, 2 years after it had already come out.
Why?
At the time, it was the baby boom. People were having babies left and right, and they needed more room than the El Camino could provide.
Them kids.
About 4 years later, Ford was still doing their thing with the Ranchero, moved their platform over to some of the muscle cars. So again, Chevy took notice and said, maybe we should do the El Camino that way. Biters. So in 1964, the El Camino is finally back, but it's on the Chevrolet A body frame. Since they were trying to be more like muscle cars, they actually came with two versions of the V6, the 194 and the 230 cubic inch. I totally said something wrong here. Just read the screen. In 1968, that was the highest selling El Camino. They sold about 42,000 units, and that was mostly due to the 396 V8 because, you know, everybody wanted to make a little bit more power. Throughout the rest of the 70s, it was really the battle of who's going to be the most badass muscle truck. Needless to say, Chevy started winning that battle. I don't see any Rancheros doing that. So from 1964 all the way up to 69, they released the El Camino, but had no Super Sport edition, which is kind of sad considering they wanted to compete with Ford doing their muscle truck kind of style. But finally, in 1969, the El Camino SS dropped. The SS came with power windows, different trim, and a heck of a bit more power. Then after the first year of the SS coming out in 1970, they overhauled it and decided to drop in a 454 big block in the El Camino with a 4-speed trans. Let's just say the El Camino was back and ready to haul everything, mostly just haul ass. But unfortunately, as soon as we get the SS with the 454, the gas crisis hits and Chevy basically aborts the mission, doesn't cancel the production, but the El Camino takes a swift turn into a more economical car / truck. But the Elcos did get more luxurious.
For even more elegance, the estate package is available for the El Camino Classic with its smart wood grain final trim and special body moldings. Inside, there's more elegance, as offered in one of 5 all-vinyl colors, plus special instrument panel padding, door trim panel, and deluxe headliner.
And the newer El Caminos coming out a bit bulkier and slower, it's still cool as fuck, man. Like, ugh. You can't knock them. Every single El Camino looks good. And if you say otherwise, you're fucking lying. With that said, around 1973, that was probably their best year for the El Camino, and there was a lot of them on the road. They were perfect for comfort and practicality of getting things done while being able to go. Yeah, they made it really nice. I'm not complaining 40-something years later. Over every one of those years, it seems like Chevy was just perfecting their craft and actually honing in on making the perfect car / truck vehicle on the market. Another thing to note is that If you haven't noticed already, there's a lot of renditions of the El Camino, and that's because since '64, they have literally changed every single year up until 1980, and then the rest of the years they kind of just stayed the same. I know a lot of my friends, we always joke about the A-body and G-body debate, but I love them both, man. There's no room to hate on any El Camino because they're all the shit. Although I would take a G-body over an A-frame any day of the week. And finally, in 1978, my favorite gen drop, 5th gen G-bodies. Now remember when I said Chevy was perfecting the El Camino? Leading all the way up till 1978, I think they got it absolutely right, and that's why they didn't change it for another 9 years. And with the drop of the G-body, they came in 3 different distinctive packages. Number 1 being the Black Knight, aka the Royal Knight, because of some copyright issues. I believe it's Eddie Murphy that owns that. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not sure. A Conquista, and of course, the Super Sport model.
What the hell is even that?
Over the next 8 years after 1980, there was very, very minimal changes to the El Camino. The production of the El Camino moved to Mexico in 1985 so that Chevy could save some money on it, but it only lasted another 2 years till 1987, and the El Camino finally was shut down by Chevy. The main reason they shut it down is because the S10 was doing numbers, and nobody really wanted a half car, half truck anymore. Or so it seemed. Stupid ass decision if you ask me. Because it's 46 years later and I believe the people still really want a nice economic mid-sized truck car thing. Like we all want another one. Make another muscle truck, Chevy. Come on. And to the new people that don't know what an El Camino is, they absolutely love it when they see it.
And now!
So I'm thinking Chevy should bring them back sometime in the future, even though it probably won't happen, unfortunately. But with that said, there's still a huge community of El Camino lovers out here, me included. So let's have some fun. Let's link up and continue growing this community and save all the old schools we can, because these G-bodies and any other El Caminos deserve it. They're the coolest cars you'll ever see on the road. Might not be the fastest right away, but coolest for sure. Now every brand has its fair share of diehards for the brand, but the G-body community goes freaking hard. And everybody's cool as f***. So if you're thinking about getting an El Camino or any other G-body, do it. That you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Oh, let me rephrase that. Your pockets might hurt a little bit, but you gonna love it. You'll have no regrets, I promise. So if you've got an El Camino, make sure you get out and enjoy it. Don't just lock it away in the garage. Drivers drive. Old cars like to be driven. Get out and enjoy them. And with that said, that's my video for the week. No vlog, just a little history on the El Camino. And yeah, I will see y'all next week. Just like that, another week down. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos dropping every week. Daily posts on Instagram and TikTok. And drop a comment. Let me know what you want to see done to the El Camino.
Peace.